Hey there gang, battery's running out here, so I'm trying to do this real quick. I showed you on this, the beers I got for Christmas video. Cold Filtered Light was one of the ones I got. I asked for this specifically because I wouldn't buy a 12-pack myself, and so I got my brother to get it for me for Christmas. Finally down to my last one. Saved it for the review. It's 4% alcohol by volume, and this is from Moosehead. This is one of their many light beers. They have Moose Light Lime, Alpine Light, Crack Canoe, and this Cold Filtered Light. This one, what's a cold filtered beer, you might wonder? I actually kind of never really knew, never really cared actually, but thought I'd do a little bit of research. The difference between a cold filtered beer and a regular Eisbock or Eisenbach. Whereas an Eisenbach is a beer that is frozen and has the water chipped away, so you have a higher concentration of alcohol. A cold filtered beer is where they speed up the lagering process by chilling the beer more, and all the nasty gunk, proteins, things like of that nature clump together and settle, and so they can scoop them away. Benefit is you can get your beer out there really quick, but the real negative is that of course you're going to lose a lot of flavor too. And so this is basically marketed as a sort of a smooth light beer, easy drinking. For the life of me, I think I might do a separate video on Moosehead at some point. I really like Moosehead. I like that they're an independent, still Canadian-owned brewery, right? But I have to take exception with all these damn light beers they keep throwing out on the market. I'm starting to get a little tired of it. So anyway, we're going to pour this now and do the review before my camera dies on me here. Pouring this slow so we don't get too much head. So you notice I'm pouring right down the middle, so it's going to be a bit more head than what you'd usually get if you poured it the quote-unquote correct way. Okay, it looks nice. Very pale, very pale, kind of golden straw color. Even more pale than that, really. Looks a bit darker on the camera than it actually is. The head, actually that's probably about the same as it was the other ones I had poured in the glass. And no, I didn't have the entire 12-pack, by the way. I pawned some off on my brother and my father, and you know, so I only had a few of them. It looks okay. It's a good looking beer. Nice sort of foamy head, more than what you'd expect, especially from a light beer. So we're going to go right to the smell right now. This is sort of a mild corn aroma, a bit more than what you usually get from a light beer, but nothing to write home about, really. It's what's expected, so you can't really bash it that much. So we'll get right to the taste now. Kind of interesting. It actually has more flavor than what one would expect from a light beer. Sort of like a cross between Alpine and Moosehead Premium Dry, which is their 5.5% beer, and it goes down really smooth. Of course it's watery, but it does sort of taste like beer. It's probably their second, well no, I'd dare say this is probably their best light beer. Of course I haven't reviewed Alpine Light, so I can't say for sure. But it's actually probably got more flavor than, it's got a better flavor than just regular Moose Light. It's not as watery. Moosehead Light Lime, well, that's a lime beer, and it just doesn't come close to this. And Crack Canoe has virtually no flavor at all. And if that's what you're looking for, that's probably your better choice. But if you want a light beer with a little bit of flavor, I'm not going to say this is like, you see a couple people have done reviews of Sam Adams Light recently, video beer reviews, and I think Bitter Poet Madman did one recently. This isn't like anything near that. Like they pretty much said that those were just slightly flavor reduced versions of the regular Sam Adams Boston Lager. This is definitely quite a few levels below that sort of thing, right? But it actually does have a bit more flavor than what you would expect from a light beer, which is quite surprising considering it is a cold filtered or whatever thing, where you're expecting probably even more flavor to be ripped away than just the regular usual thing. I'm not even sure what adjuncts they use in this, if they do. Probably, they probably do, but if they do, you can't taste them. Not really. None of the corny or ricey sort of taste that you would usually get. And that's probably what, well, slightly corny, but it's not the sort of thing you usually would get from a light beer. So would I recommend it? As far as light beers go, yeah, I'd probably recommend this. It's inoffensive, it goes down smooth, actually has a bit of flavor. So I guess, you know, it's not like Moosehead knocked anything into the ballpark here, but you know, they got at least to first base with this one. So I don't know why I'm using a baseball analogy. Yeah, so I'm just rambling now. Cold Filter Light. If you're looking for a good Canadian light beer, this is probably your best choice.